I can be objective about just about any topic, but not about my family. Those of you who watch this show get it. Being a journalist and a brother to a politician is unique and a unique challenge, and I have a unique responsibility to balance those roles. Not only do I not cover this here, I've never tried to influence this network's coverage of my brother.
Well, now calls are growing for him to resign. Here to react is former White House advisor for the Trump administration and host of America First, Sebastian Gorka. Dr. Gorka, welcome back to the show.
And the Gorka reality check on Newsmax. Don't forget that.
That's right. I know we got to get that in there.
Love it.
Cuomo said that he can be objective. He said, I chose not to cover this, but let's play a little sample of his interview with his brother before. Listen to this.
There's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of expectation, but there's also a lot of fear. And that's a lot to balance. As leaders, thank you for coming on. Thank you for having a good sense of humor about what is a very important public service message. A lot of people aren't getting tested because they're worried about it. Thank you for showing people how easy it is to get tested. You are ready for a fight, and you know that you have a long way to go. And I know that that's what drives your passion about sticking with these positions, because you know it's a long game. And I respect that, and I know it as well. And I wish you well. And I appreciate you coming here to answer the tough questions.
The tough questions. Sounded pretty objective to me, Seb.
It is especially easy to get tested if your brother, the governor, sends the state trooper in their patrol vehicle to your house with the COVID test. I always find that really, I don't know about you guys, but when your brother is the governor, I find it super easy. Can we just be clear on the facts of the matter? We have two individuals. One of them is a cretin, okay? Chris Cuomo is perhaps one of the dumbest people in media today. He's a clown. On the other hand, we have his brother, who's now got what? I can't keep track of it. Is it 9? Is it 10 women who've accused him of being sexually inappropriate? He gets a pass from his own Democrats despite the so-called #MeToo movement. But more seriously, this is an individual who, through his policies, sent at least 14,000 New Yorkers to their deaths in those old people's homes that could not handle those COVID-infected senior citizens, and at the same time was getting $5.1 million for his book on how well he handled the crisis. The real story here is not the cretin Fredo, it's his brother, Killer Cuomo.
Well, it was interesting because CNN put out a statement, and this is what it says. It says, Chris has not been involved in CNN's extensive coverage of the allegations against Governor Cuomo, on air or behind the scenes. In part, as he has said on his show, he could never be objective, but also because he often serves as a sounding board for his brother. However, it was inappropriate to engage in conversations that included members of the governor's staff, which Chris acknowledges. He will not participate in such conversations going forward. All right, so that's it. No discipline. They made it very clear. They're not, they sort of slap on the wrist. So a couple things. One, if this was them covering somebody else, like someone at Newsmax, somebody at another station, they'd be going bananas at CNN. That's number one. Number two, according to reports, Chris Cuomo is telling his brother to be, quote, defiant about the charges of sexual assault and misdeed against him, right? Think about this. CNN has got person after person going on when Donald Trump was accused of stuff, talking about women should be believed and how all of this, these stories need to get their due. And yet their host is saying, be defiant against the women that are coming out making these accusations. How can CNN sit back and say, we're not going to comment on that now and we're not going to punish him?
We have to go back to our primary premise here. Don't expect any moral rectitude from the legacy lying media, whether it's playing, with giant cotton swabs on TV as a quote unquote news anchor, or whether it's, giving his brother strategic communications advice based upon the real stories in the news about his sexual assault allegations. Look, we're talking about a media, whether it's CNN or MSNBC, where they have paid contributors come on a show to comment on a speech given by Sleepy Creepy Biden, despite the fact that the guest doesn't disclose that he wrote the speech for Biden. They have no problem with any of this. To quote my good friend Chris Plant, who has the morning show on WMAL, where in the world is Matt Lauer? How do these scandals amongst the media just disappear? Charlie Rose, oh, he doesn't have a show anymore, but is there accountability for anything these people do? These are not, I've said it before, I think I say it every week, none of these people are journalists. They're hacks. They are the propaganda outreach arm of the Democrat Party. And we knew that from the emails between Podesta and the media 5 years ago, Sean.
We did. And the thing, like I said, that I find interesting of all the issues, if Cuomo had been charged or alleged to have done something bad on any other issue, you could kind of get away with it. But this is an issue of sexual assault and misconduct that network has gone out of their way to virtue signal, to talk about standing up for women and all of this stuff. And yet they don't even recognize how duplicitous and hypocritical it is. And I will say this, I guarantee you all these people at CNN that love to cover right-wing media and conservative media will have nothing to say about it in their media newsletters and stuff. But anyway, Seb, I always love your perspective. I appreciate you coming on and look forward to seeing you on the Reality Check Sunday night here on Newsmax.
Thank you, guys. God bless.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.